My dearest apologies. I am late. I'm not late. I just missed round 4 on Thursday. So today's Friday, and I'm going to do round 4. And I'll probably post round 5 either later today in some kind of doubleheader Friday or Saturday or something. I should really probably spend my time working on the Jeskai Roundtable Part 2 and get that out Saturday. Anyway, this is the deck, and I said that I would show you guys this league because some interesting things happened in the match against, well, regarding some of the card choices in the match against Elves in Game 2. We get to see the power of Settle the Wreckage as it completely dug us out of an impossible spot that we were in. In round 3, we got to watch Karanos take over the game twice. And in round 4, we're going to also get to see some interesting interactions with some of the card choices. I will make sure to point those out when we come to them. Before I get started, I just want to take a moment and mention my photography channel, to which there is a link right here. I do a bunch of landscape photography, hiking around, all that kind of good stuff, and I would appreciate any support and likes and all of that stuff that you guys would be willing to share on that site as well. All that out of the way, let's play Magic. Alright, and here we go with round 1, or game 1 of round 4, against Turbo Pitufu. And I kept this hand. Felt like, alright, you know, I don't have red mana, but I have 2 Serum Visions. It could be a bit slow, but let's see how it goes. He passes back to me after playing a Champion of the Parish. So I'm definitely going to have to take some damages in order to find this colored mana that I so desire. I so require is more probably appropriate way to put it. There's a red mana source. I'm kind of Queller flooded here. Cryptic Command, I'm not sure what I did with that. Let's take a look here. Put a card on the bottom, it's making sense. Put a card on top. Alright, so we got the red mana that we need now. Opponent's going to go ahead and play an Ancient Ziggurat and play black. Uh-oh, it's going to be Kitesail Freebooter to take our only removal spell. What a mean man. What a mean freebooter. Okay, so that's going to happen. I'm going to click this fast button here just because we know what's going to happen. So boom, skip that, draw the red source. Let's see here. I decided to go ahead and get a mountain. I could have got Steam Vents, played it tapped, but I decided, well, I guess there's a chance in which I draw Bolt, and if I do, I probably want to cast it right now. So I cast Serum Visions, and we see lands and a click. Alright, so definitely not drawing the removal heavy hands that Jeskai is typically known for. Probably going to put both these on bottom. I put a card on top. Oh, I want to say it was obviously one of those lands. I forget which one it was. I remember now. The reason I put them on top is I was like, okay, well, it's not a great spot to be in, but maybe I can do some chumping with some spell Quellers. Like I can chump a Kitesail Freebooter with a Spell Queller, assuming these creatures don't get larger. Opponent plays a Meddling Mage. And can you guess what he names? Yep. So suddenly, this game is just like completely falling apart. There's going to be no chumping. We're drawing a land, and we're going to play that land. We're at 11, so things are not great. All we have to do is hope he attacks with this Kitesail Freebooter so that we can block it with Vendilion Click and then kill a Meddling Mage, and then we will play this land, so then we'll have Spell Queller online. Kind of interesting how sad this has gone. Opponent taps for a Phantasmal Image. Haha! He whiffed. He whiffed. We're so good. Oh God, we're so dead. We're so dead. All right, I'm gonna just skip this because obviously he's gonna play that. Oh, okay, I think I just conceded. That's how dead I knew that I was. So this would have been attack 4. This would have gone to 5 and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 exact damage. Wow, what a rough game for Team Jeskai. See you in game 2. Alright, let's take a look at how we sideboarded. So our 2 Geist of St. Traffs are out. I took out a couple of Spell Quellers. I think Spell Queller's good in the matchup, but it's also really bad against Reflector Mage. And Blade Splicer might be bad against Reflector Mage because they can bounce the Golem token. But I wanted to try the Blade Splicers, so I brought in the Blade Splicers. I obviously brought in like all of my sweeper type effects, the Is a Static Caster, the Engineered Explosives, the Settle the Wreckage. Thought, okay, well maybe I can also play in for a long game with Karanos and even Wormcoil Engines, so brought those 2 cards in. And I don't know if that's exactly what I brought in or out. It's pretty close to that. I think that's close enough. You get the gist of it. Alright, so let's see how this game goes. I do want to play first. Alright, we're lacking a removal spell. We're lacking a 3rd land. Our hand's kind of slow. So we mulligan into what is definitely a better hand in that we have early interaction. We have a way to make sure we find a 3rd land. We have a way to get that interaction back. I'm going to call this a keep even though it has this Wormcoil Engine. Oops. I put a card on top and I skipped it. It might have even been a Serum Visions. Let's see if I fetch at the end of turn because maybe I really want that card. Opponent plays land and Vial. Okay, I kept a Blade Splicer on top, which is why I didn't fetch. I'm going to go ahead and... Ooh, am I doing it twice? Okay. So, that's kind of a lot of damage against an aggressive deck, I'm not going to lie. But one thing you'll see me do commonly against Affinity and a lot of decks is taking some damage to get my mana right. And the reason is, I've found that a lot of times, if you play it really safe with your mana, you can get yourself into a position where you need to say, you can't, I'm just going to make something up, you can't cast Helix and Bolt that turn. And so as a result, they're able to keep 1 extra creature on the battlefield and hit you. And you can end up losing the game because you weren't able to cast your spells as on time as you should because you got, say, a basic where you should have gotten a duel. And so I also just wanted, I wanted my mana to be good. I wanted to cast the Serum Visions, and I knew he was going to be playing a creature. I really wanted to be able to bolt it. That way, for exactly what I said, if he plays a creature next turn, unless it's a Thalia, but if he plays a creature, I can go ahead and bolt it and then untap, snap, and bolt it. If it's a Thalia, then... also, if he plays a creature that I can bolt, then I can untap and Blade Splicer. So I felt like I needed to take the damage in order to be able to do everything in the order that I thought I needed to do it in. Of course, it's an annoying Thalia. So then we can't kill it right away. But what we can do, and let's see what I chose to do here, is test out the Blade Splicer and try to invalidate the Thalia. So I play the Blade Splicer. At my end step, he vials in this Noble Hierarch. So now Thalia can attack with First Strike into our Golem. But they'll kill each other at least. And then we still get the Blade Splicer itself around to potentially blink later. I know this button kind of goes fast, but I feel like if I know what happens, I can explain it. Opponent takes the Vial up to 2. Let's see what he has on his main phase for us. Three mana, probably going to be a Sin Collector, which is kind of annoying. Kind of wanted that bolt. Takes the bolt, vials in a... Oh my gosh! Something I did not expect when I was considering Blade Splicer for the deck. You mean that now our blocker 2-for-1 guy is his 2-for-1 guy? That seems not great. That's not what I expected at all. Didn't foresee that coming. Just thought Blade Splicer, First Strike, pretty cool. So we untap, draw land. and play the Colonnade. So now I guess I felt like, well, here was me thinking, I don't have any removal spells. I clearly need to find removal spells. You know, snap. We got the Blade Splicer the Golem token can block basically anything. I kind of expect him to, well, it can't block anything. It can chump some things, because what he can very easily do here is just attack with the Golem with first strike from the Noble. So I basically I need to go ahead and Serum Visions, because I got to find some action. Got to find a way to deal with this. Pretty sure I cast that Serum Visions. Maybe I cast it second main phase. I hope the replay's not going to bug out. I may have just accidentally clicked on in my game. Okay, let's see. Casting Serum Visions. Sorry, all this clicking. I really do not like doing these replays. I also don't like the replay interface. Like, why do you let me pretend I'm going to click it? It's just strange. What am I doing? I guess I have no idea. Okay, so I'm thinking that there must be a replay bug or something, because I didn't cast that Serum Visions. But I don't know why I wouldn't cast the Serum Visions. I clearly played the Snapcaster Mage to cast the Serum Visions. So either I cast it, and well, there's a possibility, or I didn't cast it. Why, I don't know. I accidentally was going to cast it and then ended my turn or something. Or that I did cast it and Magic Online is screwed up. So there's a great multitude of reasons that I do not like these replays. This kind of thing being one of them. I can't think back to the game. Oh, no. Now I remember. I made an error. And I cast Snapcaster Mage and then tried to cast Serum Visions and felt real stupid because I couldn't. And some of you have probably already noticed this. Because of Thalia. Alright. Now I feel like I've just repeated that mistake in the replay. Whatever. I want to say Meddling Mage comes down to names of Wormcoil Engine. Oh no, that's right. He paid twice. I thought that was what was going to happen. So he attacks. Obviously, we can't really do anything about that. Why? I guess I chumped for. I don't know that. I don't think I should have chumped there. Maybe why did I feel like I had to? I don't know. But we're gonna play Wormcoil Engine. Blah blah blah. No, we're not. We don't have enough mana. I'm sorry. We're gonna finally cast that Serum Visions that I screwed up with. Guess we can play this Celestial Colonnade, and then what did I do with these? One on top, one on bottom. I'm pretty sure I kept the Cryptic on top, and I can like bounce this Colonnade or something to that effect. Okay, I did play land. Just making sure. So now that I'm like remembering playing this game, when I cast that Snapcaster Mage to look for the Serum Visions, I remember thinking, well, it's gotten me some card advantage there. So if I chump with the Golem, it's not like I'm necessarily down a card. I just was trying to buy time. I was trying to buy time to cast this Wormcoil Engine. That's why I was chumping. And obviously my intention with the first Snapcaster Mage was to cast the Serum Visions, even though I screwed it up because of Thalia. And that's, so basically that's what I did again. Champion of the Parish comes down. Opponent attacks again with the Golem. I probably jump with the Snapcaster Mage. I guess maybe I didn't put the Cryptic on top. I guess what I did was maybe I put a land on top so that I could play this Wormcoil Engine. Something terrible is going to happen. I'm just going to warn you. But I want to see how many of you can put together into your mind what it's going to be before it happens. I don't want to look. I know what happens. Come on, I don't want. Oh God! Why? Why does he have a Wormcoil Engine? Why was my idea so bad with this? All right, so the lesson that I'm learning from this, A, don't forget about Thalia, but B, is that I don't think Blade Splicer or Wormcoil Engine as a means to take over the game or just chump their creatures works very well when they can just make copies of them. So he can't attack with his Wormcoil yet. He probably can't attack with anything else now. At least not into that. But, of course, we draw a path. And we're still like in a weird position because we get to kill his Wormcoil Engine. I think I was able to set up something decent here, though. Because I think what ended up happening is... Well, let's just find out. Let's see what happens. What I was going to say is obviously, you know, he can't attack with anything. This Wormcoil Engine will basically just eat it. So I just need to start trying to kill him with this Celestial Colonnade. Hope he doesn't make another Wormcoil Engine. Hold on to this path until I find a real reason to use it. He can't attack with the Death Touch one either because we can block it with the First Strike Golem and kill it before it kills the Golem. Plays another champion. Okay, fine, whatever. There is obviously some danger here. You know, we're only at 13. I'd have to do the math. I'm not going to do it, but I guess he could eventually, like, if he just threw a bunch of Thalia's lieutenants, he could get enough, maybe make everything big enough where he can alpha and still overcome the life gain. But 6 is a lot. Attack with Colonnade. Hold on to our removal spell. What has the opponent drawn? All right, yeah, Thalia's Lieutenant. That's a real card, kind of what we just talked about. He's definitely going to make all of his creatures bigger. Funnily enough, the Blade Splicer who gave him is a human. And as long as we have this path, though, I still think we're okay. Because even if he makes one of these champions really huge, we can pat that one. We don't have to trade our Wormcoil for it. Activate Colonnade yet again. Attack. Getting close, getting close. Another Thalia's Lieutenant. Okay, so that's going to be quite a large champion. So he decides to swing in because obviously if he makes our, Worm Coil Engine much smaller, then he can start attacking into our tokens. Fortunately for us, we have a path that we can just answer it with. I think ever since I drew that path, I feel like I just drew like 4 lands in a row. I just didn't even play it. I didn't need it. Felt like I could pretend I had something. Pretty sure the opponent leaves his vials at 2 and 3. I decided to go ahead and chump. Feeling like there's a good chance. I guess, I wonder if does Reflector Mage interact with Colonnade, because I guess in theory I could have just taken it. Oh, that's right. His plan was to block the Colonnade with the Freebooter, but obviously we can just kill the Freebooter and then attack in with the Colonnade. So definitely a weird game, and this is why it's important to test things, I think. Some things seem good in theory, and then there's these little interactions that you forget about. And obviously the Blade Splicer being copied by Phantasmal Image, especially the Worm Coil Engine, those were not things that I had foreseen, but they are likely reasons not to actually continue with this plan. See you for game 3. So for game 3, I actually just kept the board, my sideboarding, the same. Even though the Blade Splicer was super weird and the Worm Coil was super weird, I didn't want to, just be like, okay, now I know it's bad. Let's just, we committed to trying it. I wanted to see it through, I guess you could say. This looks like a keep. We have removal into maybe counterspell, so to speak. Vial go. Probably going to go Scalding Tarn. Go. We have enough ways to get additional blue sources that, again, unless he plays a Thalia, I can expect myself to bolt it. But he plays a Thalia, so we're probably going to get a Steam Vents here. Got a Hollowed Fountain. Oh, I got the Hollowed Fountain because I wanted to just, I guess, have the mana online to cast Settle the Wreckage. Gonna be bolting something here. Chose to bolt the Thalia. One of the reasons is he can't take this Keranos. I know I have this Keranos. Thalia can attack this turn for 3. I'm assuming I'm going to find another removal spell for the Kitesail Freebooter. At the very least, he won't be able to attack with the Kitesail Freebooter unless he draws a Thalia's Lieutenant, because we can block it with Spell Queller. And I'm just trying to buy time. So I don't want to get hit by the Thalia because, again, it gives me another land into play, gets me a bit closer to Keranos. There's a chance that we have to kill a Meddling Mage. I clicked the wrong button. But what we ended up doing was kind of what I talked about. Unfortunately, now we're not going to be able to block the Kitesail Freebooter because he did draw the Thalia's Lieutenant. So play land. Opponent's down to 1 card. As long as we pretty much find any removal spell in a timely fashion, then we can kill the Kitesail, get back our Helix, kill the Thalia's Lieutenant, buy a little more time, get closer to Kronos. If we can never get Kronos online, obviously then he'll just completely take over the game, as you guys have already seen. Obviously, his best home is in grindy, mid-rangey type matchups or control mirrors or something, but I still like bringing him in these kinds of matchups just because it kind of guarantees that if you can survive that long, you'll be able to win the game with him. Alright, so we're going to fetch away the Scalding Tarn for, I don't know, something. We'll see what I get. Probably Steam Vents. Just an island? Oh, okay. So, pausing really quick. I felt, again, on this whole buying time front, I was like, alright, well, you know, he's got this Vial. I'm probably not going to be spell calling anything. I was fine to just basically bring him as a blocker for, you know, like the Sin Collector or the Thalia's Lieutenant. Like, if he doesn't make this any larger, I wanted to at least be able to block something. Turns out, though, probably would have been better to just spell quell, like, keep it up. There is something else odd here that happens, I remember. Let's see what happens here. So I take the 4. Because what I'm supposed to do here, I think, is get an island, bounce the Meddling Mage, draw a card, and then play Kronos. But why do I think that didn't happen? I think the reason it didn't happen was because I accidentally grabbed the Steam Vents with a misclick. And so then I felt really conflicted, like, do I shock myself? That was a total accident. Yeah, that was a bit awkward. That wasn't the intention, though. The intention was to bounce the mage. And so then I'm in this position where it's like, all right, well, I'm going to have to save this whole thing for the next turn, and it could all come completely apart. Illusion, kind of telegraphing that I might have a Phantasmal Image. He probably, well, let's see here. Path of Thalia's Lieutenant. Alright. I clicked that button again. This time I get an island. This time I do it correctly. Bounce the Meddling Mage. Clicked a little fast there. I have off the Cryptic Command. I drew a Restoration Angel. Then for my draw step, I drew this Worm Coil Engine. Played the Kronos. Play that land tapped. So now I have a blocker up, and hopefully this Kronos will kill the Kitesail Freebooter, and we'll be doing well after that. So our opponent knew about the Kronos, and when I saw him name illusion. I was kind of curious if this was going to happen, but he was intending to copy the Chronos and kind of just forgot that while he's not, you can see it's grayed out there, while he doesn't have his devotion met, he's not a creature. And we had an interesting little, I guess the chat didn't save. We weren't being super chatty, but you noticed probably in the first, there was some back and forth. I was like, wow, okay, Blade Splicer not the great blocker that I thought it was going to be. And so he was just kind of saying like, oh, I thought I could X, but he can't. Wormquill Engine is the name. And this is again gonna go in. That block there was sort of what I had talked about before. In that I feel like once a Karanos is on the battlefield, I'm even willing to just do things like chump blocks because I just want to buy time. Because the more turns that happen, the more value I will accrue from Karanos. Fortunately, we have a Restoration Angel, and unless this Kite Self Freebooter gets one large, or they'll just sort of scrapple. They'll scrap with one another in the air, but neither one will die. So I guess he just sort of felt like, all right, the only he can attack with the Freebooter. Maybe he forgot about the Exalted trigger, but I guess he felt like if he attacks with the Freebooter, I play Restoration Angel, block it, then I can untap it and probably kill something with Karanos. Even if I don't, then I have a Colonnade. But he decided to concede at this point, and I think it's fine because I'm pretty sure, he attacks with Freebooter. Unless he has a Thali's Lieutenant, I mean, even if he does, I think Karanos will pull us out of this. I don't know if he has another image, but if we kill this, play this, that can take over the game. If he doesn't have the Thali's Lieutenant, we'll play Restoration Angel. Like I said, they'll fight in the air. Nothing will happen. We'll untap, trigger Karanos, kill the Freebooter, helix something else, and the game will just start coming apart from there. But yeah, so the main reasons I wanted to show off this league were, again, I already said it, but I'll just reiterate: Settle the Wreckage in the game against Elves, Karanos in the game against the Eldrazi, Black-White Eldrazi, and then Karanos here in this game, but also the Wormcoil Engine, Blade Splicer, Phantasmal Image interaction that didn't work out so great. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Sorry about being late. I will see you guys very soon for the conclusion of this Modern League. And until then, bye for now.